So, thank you very much for coming. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. So, my name is Katerina. I'm from Russia. I'm a multidisciplinary designer. And I would like to share with you my passion to design. Design, it's very about humanity. It's about human nature. Design, it's how we invent something, how we make something, and how we create something. When I was thinking about how should I name my lecture, I decided to name it a little bit in metaphorical manner, like salt of design. In many cultures, salt means gist, salt means wisdom, salt means something really presence of nature. And so what about my slogan? To see a taste, and to feel a sign. I just decided to make this in order to reflect the paradoxical gist of design, because it's some kind of mixture, creativity, and at the same time it's the mixture of logic. So let's get started. Let's start from something familiar to us, just cool picture, isn't it? Yes, it really catches our eyes, but let's think in terms of design. What really makes us happy about this picture? First of all, just a huge contrast of this dark space and high detailed products, isn't it? Yes. About most appealing and most expressive, it's color system. And do you know that all colors could be measured in this system that is named as color wheel. And now we see the most classical combination of colors attraction. First of all, it's just, and you know, on this color wheel, two opposite colors, they attract to each other in most contrast and most expressive manner, like green and like red on the first sneaker. At the same time, we see another example of perfect eye-catching combination. It's about yellow, cyan, and magenta. These three colors, perfect, absolutely attractive. So, what about the next? It's about texture. Texture is the quality of the surface. It could be sleek or it could be rough. And here we see nuance differences of texture. I just take one example of these three products, and it's first one. So we see so many. Do you see the differences between all these surfaces? Some of them just wrinkled, and another just sleek, one plain, another different. It just make all these details that really catch us. And what about proportion? Yes, and this picture is organized in some very predictable manner. Designer used this grid, some kinds of arrangement of all elements that makes the composition stable and dynamic at the same time. It's just the same that makes us feeling like, it's really a picture about somehow some self-confidence. That is why you see just very straight arrangement and simple. It's just basic principles of design. And about composition. Composition is a mutual arrangement of different elements that just adjust whole products in somehow manner like this dynamic. We see all these very dynamical straight lines. And on the second example, we see a little bit waves and calm organizing of elements. I just outlined the main lines of the product in order to make it more prominent. And at the same time, the third one is just example of this vibrating combination of colors and elements. But all that you have seen is just the top of iceberg. A cool product appearance is just only the slight piece of whole design processes. Because design is much more about how it works, in how manner it interacts with the user, and how it was produced, how it was recycled, etc., etc. Just a huge and giant science. So, forms follows function. It's just one of the key elements of design. What does it mean? The same principle we see at nature. For example, I just get some example from nature, just human eye. And some example of very common product industry like this cup, plastic cup. Let's compare this in terms of design. Everything in natural forms is determined. For example, do we need our eyelashes to make our face beautiful? No. We just need it to protect our eyeball from dust. Do we need tears just for crying and to be sad about something? No. We need tears just to make our eyeball moisturizing. Why do we need this sphere shape of eyeball? Just to make it movable in different angles. What about industry? The same. Good design is just the same. So, what about this plastic bag? Why do we need this size of cups? Any ideas? Why do we need just only this size? Not probably like cups somehow these dimensions. Any suggestion? Huh?
It's the hand.
Hand? Sure. And at the same time, it's just a classical portion of people to drink.
It's the mouth.
Probably. What about ribs? All these ribs, it makes the shape more solid. It makes, it protects our fingers from sliding the surface of this cup. What about this roll bottom? Yes, just doesn't hurt your lips. Okay. So, what about some special traits of design? What does it different from the close assistance from craft and art? It just, actually, yes, it's assistance of design. But craft and art is just about producing somehow unique things. It's just about producing things with hands. And it's very subjective, it's very individual. And it's actually about some limited lots of amounts of products. Don't confuse it with design because the borders, they really blurred. But don't be confused about this. Design is much more about being universal. Design is much more about being critical thinking. Design very anthropocentrical because it turns all about human, about our physical appearance and about our mental appearance. And the last but not least, it's about mass production. Everything that we can see around us is just, yes, it's design, but at the same time, it was produced in many copies, similar copies. So I mentioned two things, physical appearance of human and mental. What did I mean? For example, human body, we have some certain measurements, the sizes of our parts of body, etc., etc., etc. And what about the height of chair? It's just very limited because of the length of our, from our feet to our knees. It couldn't be higher than about 21 inches or probably 55 centimeters because it's an average measurements of average human body length, I mean, this part of length. And the science that helps design to orient to be very familiar with human body, it calls ergonomics. And so what about another measurements? It's temperature. In most cases, human body is comfortable and we feel the air neutralized when it's about 72 Fahrenheit degrees or 21.0 on Celsius. What about mental? Mental properties of human body is just our attention, our emotions, our reacting on something. For example, red, for example, just one of the most appealing things that I've already mentioned, it's color. Red, it just attracts our attention very directly because of human eyeball apparatus and at the same time because of the length of visual waves. From the other side, it's about composition. Our attention, it works somehow that we couldn't be comfortable to see on something that contains more than 7 elements. And that's really the principle of organizing newspapers. you could argue that probably it's so millions of symbols, like letters, like words on the sheet, but at the same time, we can pay attention on whole similar elements, like on one part of the composition. That is why just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. I will describe it more in details on probably the second lecture. Let's get started. All disciplines of design, it's divided into 2 big clusters. It's visual design. It's somehow related to classical graphic, illustration, painting, drawings, visual arts, web design, branding, etc. And spatial. It's about something solid. Product design, interior design, architecture design, landscape, jewelry, fashion, etc. What's the difference? You can draw everything you could only imagine, like these flying elephants. What about spatial? We have to deal with a law of physics, and we have to think it's about, because we need to produce it in most feasible way. So, any suggestions? What is the thing that does unite all these 3 pictures? It's BMW car, it's Impressionist painting of Claude Monet, and the third one is just sitting accessories. Do you see the stripe around this man back and beneath? Any ideas? What's the similar between all of them? Yes.
They're all designed by people?
Yes, somehow, yes, it's true. But I just want to outline it's good examples of excellent design. Why? First of all, design, it's about problem solving for some certain context. For most developed countries, cars like BMW are just the perfect solution for being safe, for traveling safe, for traveling with comfort. Yes, it's good design, it's well organized, it is well, as well as it well works. In terms of design, what about this Impressionist style? Are you familiar with Impressionist direction? They just use color and express their emotions and the mood of the picture just by color. They didn't care about all this high-skilled and very sleek, very fashionable manner, so to make it really well-rounded, just put colors on your upholstery, that's it. In terms of design, it was a perfect solution. Just minimum means and maximum expression. They just use color, most appealing thing in the world. And just color, don't worry about composition, about sleek lines, etc. What about this? In terms of design, yes, it's perfect. Just as minimum as possible. It's just, I could call this as a chairless chair, the most minimalistic chair in the world, because it allows your body to be relaxing and your muscles to be relaxed, while sitting just without any furniture. I like this example very much because it just represents the design idea of different peoples. I mean, like American Indians, and probably this nation just the whole teams worked for this car, and it was individual decision, but it's just about human invention ability. Design is also divided not only by different fields. Design is also divided by times. I will describe you 3 different principles how we can design something. I'll just take perfume as an example.
Right now?
In most classical ways, it was in past time, artists, they just decorated perfume bottle. They just do it in order to convey mood and in order to just make it looks superior. Nowadays, we have another situation. Design is much more about reflecting and representing conception, idea. For example, we see here just as minimum elements as possible, just round glass, and a piece of brilliant piece of diamonds inside the perfume. It's a project of Takujin Yoshioka, Moon Fragment. Just that's it. Designer represents not only a visual appearance, but also he represents conception. And he did it in a very elegant manner. Just put it was original decision to put something inside the perfume. About future and about this situation today. The name of this perfume is just swallowable perfume. It just appeals, you swallow this, and it motivates your body, it urges your body to produce aromatic sweat. I like this decision because it's somehow of example very integrated, just about integration, your metabolism with some idea. At the same time, this project represents very contemporary points of view on designing products. It's just hybrid object. I mean, hybrid, because like this, augmented reality glasses. It's a hybrid project because it connects physical world with digital reality, with virtual. We're very familiar about this. Yes, it's just the next stage of design process. Unfortunately, design facilitates only 4% of people on our planet. What about next? Let's take a look at this chart. Yes, it's just map, it's world map. And all these dark areas are just about living people without all these cool things. Imagine if you have any food in your fridge, just a piece of bread or probably just a slice of ham, and if you have any clothes, absolutely any, not fashion, just shorts. If you have roof on your roof and place to sleep, you're richer than 75% of people on the planet. It's awful. But at the same time, I see the next stage of design not only about producing these cool, futuristic toys, but the next very important stage of design, just producing real-life problem-solving design, like this. For example, any ideas? What's this?
Water carrying buckets.
It's cans, sure. It's water carrying. It just allows people don't carry a lot of very heavy stuff each day, each hours. Good idea. Yes, it's very simple. It's absolutely simple. And at the same time, yes, it's just about producing something new. Yes, it's very touching idea. I like it. At the same time, the similar points to solve are just about fuel. It's about pollution, water pollution, water sources for such kind of people. I wanted to show you 1 minute long video. If you could ask it to help me. We need to switch on the video.
Would you like the light on also?
No.
It's
thank
good
you.
this way?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'm not seeing that from there. That's what it tells us. Rascal.
Yes. Take a look. 1 minute long video. It's just silent.
About mass production.
Yeah. Yes, but track this sign, these boxes. It's the price for this. Some magic marketing technique. transportation from the place of origin. Childhood. What about price? Yes, unfortunately it's true. When I mention design, it's not only about physical appearance. Design is also about how to produce the product with minimal harm to earth. How to produce with eliminating a child working on the place. And okay, thank you. We also mean designers also. And probably it's only, I would describe the situation not only about concern to design, it's concern about our philosophy. Yes? So we should also carry about the whole numbers of different substances like economical, social, like environmental. All these factors must be think about in terms of design and production as well. Another issue, sure, yes, it's pollution. That cool sneakers that I showed you on the first slide will dispose in nature in about 700 years from the time when it was thrown away on the dump. 700 years or more, yes? And at the same time, I have some optimistic points for you. It's about new philosophy of design. The name of these wonderful things is just sustainable design and the conception from cradle to cradle. It means that every product has its own life cycle. For example, from designing, sketching, ideation, prototyping, producing, and then about marketing, about transportation, about this distribution around markets. Then it's time to purchasing, it's about customers, then it's just time of using, then in the most awful cases it's just thrown away. Yes, but another point in cool and right thing, just recycling. Recycled, then again we get some materials, recycled materials, and again product design is just a circle, not just a chain. So, but I have optimistic news. We evolved, and design evolves not only in terms of forms like these, Gillette, models of shape like. But not only in physical appearance, we also evolve in our vision. What about our standards of beauty? What about this high-valued standard of podium girls? Yes, on this right side. It's about a little bit obsolete thing today, obsolete. And recently, Dove's cosmetic company, they launched this cool named as Real Beauty campaign. That was just showed real women with a real standard body. Just I like these terms from this very artificial thing up to real life. Makes me both a little bit optimistic. But also evolves in terms of much more future than previous, just about paradigm. All of you, for sure, you are all aware about consumption society. Societies that just use a lot of products in order to facilitate your daily life and at the same time just to make a social status. Yes? But recently I have heard about and I have read some articles that our society is changed up to experience society. I love it. Because in these terms, society, just people who try to attend as much life, cool experience as they can. It's just about gathering emotions, and it's about self-development. I like this point. Just a presentation. And yes, in many cultures, and about another one issue. In many cultures, people have some views on human as something much more than just physical body. They mentioned about some metaphorical and etherical substances, like in India, like chakras. In China, it's about meridians. These thin parts of thin energies in our body. And in the Western civilization, we have some points about this period, high Renaissance, and about its idea about conscious minds and about just soul. I like these points because we are just unique to the universe. We are just miracle in this space. And so we have to think about yourself better than probably marketing does think about people. Just something to sell, then products. Don't like this. So from my modest point of view, I'm just designer too. And I wanted to show you just several products of mine that I just wanted to show you that I really eager and I really aspired to, I really passionate about doing something really that people need. My collaborative product with one Russian scientist is just swimwear that protects people from drowning. How does it work? It contains a small capsules elements, air capsules elements in color, for example, excuse me, but also in this push-up cups. But at the same time, we need this extra buoyancy value in order to, when we swim, it gives us about 2 kilograms extra buoyancy. Because we have our perfect natural apparatus that makes us just very feasible to swim in water. It's our lungs. Yes? Probably I can. Yes. Okay. For example, an average amount of lungs buoyancy about 5 kilos. And when we exhaling and inhaling, we just change this balance. It's about 2 or 1.5 kilograms. And it could be replaced by this swimwear. In cases of men's swimwear, these capsules air bulbs, it's placed in the waist. For example, it's just ordinary thing, but it allows just to protect, to make some protection. What about next? I also think about this environmental pollution. And my personal project is reusable, multi-layer, eco-friendly plates. Instead of disposable plastic plates, we just use several layers of biodegradable film on the cardboard basement. And every time after a meal, you don't have to throw away plates. You just, I just put off this tiny film that could be disposed.
Disposal.
Thank you. So it could be just disposed in nature in about 2 months in comparison with 400 years with average years of disposition real plastic waste. Yes, it's just somehow representation of the idea, just sketches and my process. It was awarded by one pretty renowned European award, James Dyson Award. And I believe. And I also think about emotional. And I also think about what does it mean to motivate people? What does it mean to encourage them? It means that you give them energy to live. And another my personal project is this sweater for people with flaming hearts. Probably you are pretty aware about this thermographical, physical, and about our future. I just believe in this. Thank you very much.